What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. We have two kinda recent decks here in the Cross-Banlist Cup are facing off against each other, I guess. The first list we have Salamangreats. I've changed the list a little bit. This should be Gabriel's list from the European World Championship qualifier from last year, 2019. Basically full force Salamangreats with the Mirage Stelio as well. It's paired up against also one of the more recent decks, also a deck from Master Rule 4, which is Plant Links, good stuff Link mainly, because again Plant Links is main decking the Jasmine as well, of course, as well like Dandelion, but it's mainly focused on the what's it called, Amaryllis FTK, and that's not this deck. So basically just a good stuff Link with multiple 2-card combinations leading to your basic play of Needle Fiber, Summon Sorceress, and you know, setting up Needle Fiber with the extra link potential. And the other half basically of the deck is cards that prevent your opponent from interrupting your play, like Midbreaker Fields or Call by the Grave, Red Reboot, prevent your opponent from using the hand trap. So which deck has the advantage? It feels that, of course, like always, going first is kinda important. It feels a bit more important, like more important for, let's say, Plant Links. I mean, going first, the deck is main making so many cards that prevent your opponent from using hand traps or blocking your opponent's hand traps, and that's of course very important. Anyway, so Plant Links have the ability to go first, and again, as I mentioned before, this is an OCG list, got it from the Road of the King in 2018. The list at least is from 2018. But as I've mentioned before, the deck is heavily focused on multiple 2-card combinations and interactions to get your Needle Fiber on the field, and that's your combo. Needle Fiber into Olion, into Summon Sorceress, into your small Crystron sub-engine. And then, you know, depending on your extenders, you could go for your, and I think I had the potential here as well to, you know, definitely go for the Ibly lock, but Ibly doesn't really feel that great against Salamangreat. But much more important is that, like, with your standard combo and depending on your extenders, you can definitely end with Ibly on your opponent's side of the field and Boral Sword as well. You know, like your opponent wanting to suicide crash with Ibly, and then Boral Sword will just put it in defense position, so basically blocking your opponent into only being able to link summon. But again, Salamangreat can easily get rid of Ibly, so Ibly without like an extra link to block your opponent basically out of the duel seems worthless, right? So just main focus, go for extra link and block your opponent out of the duel. But again, going second, I think I'm forced to use Ash Blossom on the circle. Again, triple circle for Salamangreat, and well, it's bound to happen, right? That the deck will either, well, not a second circle, but you know what I mean, like open with one of those 3 Gazelles, or in this case, kinda lucky with Foxy. Here, milling the milling the at least revealing one of the Gazelles, and well, this is basic combo, I guess. So that's a good play. Yeah, indeed, you should definitely end with Dweller as well, and of course the one-off copy with a Mirage Stelio, good old Mirage Stelio. And I think I had to go for it with Phoenix, forcing out the negation and or back row, but I think it was a losing battle. I mean, I could have gone for Needle Fiber and just go balls to the wall, I guess. Needle Fiber into my basic plays of Summon Sorcerers, but that's, I feel, wishful thinking. We know one of the sets is a circle, but the other sets, Impermanence, Roar or Rage, and one of those cards definitely stops the potential Summon Sorcerers from, you know, going through. And that's one of my key plays that I want to keep, but, well, it's not going to matter. Mirage Stelio is one of those cards that, well, it's banned for a good reason, but again, gets rid of the potential extra link, if I'm not mistaken. And it's, of course, a very important card to get rid of your opponent's pesky big boss monsters. So Plants again going first, very straightforward, and Instant Fusion is also one of those sweet extenders that if going second you can definitely sight in the Restrict, the 1000 Ice Restrict over Millennium Ice, but going first definitely keeping Millennium Ice in my deck, you know, for the potential hand traps indeed. So Summon Sorceress, and again, yeah, the standard combo, as I mentioned, or as you saw in the first duel. Cherubini gets me a Dandelion, and eventually you'll be able to, yeah, indeed, you'll be able to go for Firewall Dragon, and then eventually use my Millennium Eyes as well. Going for Cerberus, indeed, getting the 2 monsters back, and Cerberus, I believe, protects my monsters, co-link monsters, from being destroyed by card effects, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I'm able to end with Extra Link. If I was able, my apologies, but I believe this was okay as well. The full Nightmare combo, so no destruction by battle or card effects. And again, one of the few outs being Stalio, if I'm not mistaken, but there is still Maxi to force my opponent from, for giving me many pluses, a lot of pluses. If, again, if he wants to go for Stalio, bounce, and you know, that's like multiple special summons. Plus that side-ticked in DD Crow coming in clutch as well. Prevent my opponent from going for Mirage, and yeah, that should be game over, right? Then again, this was a quick surrender, I guess, because there was still Circle for Gazelle, but I don't think it would have mattered that much, right? I'm not really sure about the Super Poly side take. I definitely, well, I'm not really sure if I can agree with the siding in Super Poly. I'm not really sure there are too many darks. Well, there's Unicorn, I guess Nightmare Unicorn, maybe the regular monsters as well, Boros Sword also, but I don't feel I should be ending with Boros Sword or ably Boros Sword at the end of my combo here, or you know, with the extra link combo if I'm able to. So Super Poly, not really sure about that. So yeah, anyway, what can I do against this field, right? Okay, I do have a couple of follow-up plays, and Red Reboot is forced out with here the Rage, and yeah, it was kinda expected the last set. Hopefully it was Impermanence, but nope, that wasn't the case. So again, Red Reboot is got negated by Roar, and yeah, not really. I can that's Plant Links. That's Plant Link or Good Stuff Link. It's a very fragile deck, but if your opponent does not keep the hand traps, and even with the hand traps, I mean a well-timed hand trap that is on the Summon Sorceress, if that's not negated or, you know, blocked by Midbreaker field, then this deck is super deadly. I mean, Needle Fiber into Summon Sorceress, into Firewall. We all know a format well where those 3 cards are legal is just super bonkers. So, well, again, the classic 5th gamer and Plants have the advantage going first, and I have to battle it out against 3 hand traps as we see now. And I think I don't have a stronger play to end with. Again, if there was, my apologies, but ending with like that small calling between both Phoenix and Cerberus again feels weak. But yeah, Maxi again kinda hopes that it gives me some extra draws and potentially follow-up plays for next turn. But again, the Ash Blossom on yeah, on Maxi. This is OCG format. Well, this feels like OCG format. Your Maxi being Ash Blossomed, and yeah, this is game. Mirage Stalio bouncing back one of the nightmares, and I believe we know one of the sets being Roar. Yeah, I think so. And yeah, the top deck reboot is not. Yeah, it's definitely not going to help. And indeed, yeah, Hitleo hitting the field, and this will indeed be game. So. It kind of feels that going first again, like always, right? It has been like super important throughout the history of this game, but for both these decks, going first definitely important. But if we look at both deck lists, they definitely main deck multiple hand traps, and Plants might have like the slight advantage that they are able to add in our main deck multiple Maxis. So if, well, like beforehand, I probably would have picked Plant Links because of Maxi, but then again we see stuff like Phantasme, definitely good against Plant Link, so, and of course Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, and yeah, the side deck not really that big here for Salamangreats against something like Plant Links, but still, I think this was an okay match. 2 kinda recent decks, and we know how Yugioh has evolved into today's format. Basically a battle of the hand traps, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's how this deck is going to, or at least this duel match has ended. So, okay, Salamangreats will get the 3 points, and Plant Links, okay, still sitting at 2 points, so that's fine, I guess. Both these decks are still in, right? So next matchup, as you already probably or maybe have seen, right, we have one of the older decks being like Destiny, right, that perfect circle with Light and Darkness Dragon, one of the older decks here in this year's Cross-Banlist Cup. It's paired up against Sylvans from 2014. In theory, I feel the stronger deck, but again, Sylvans is also one of those decks that's kind of loses to itself because of the breaking and the multiple big boss monsters that could potentially end in the hand. So again, feel free to leave your predictions, top right corner, and feel free to leave a comment. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.